Whether or not you have ever played a video game before, or you are already a veteran gamer, or you might be the one that is thinking about making esports your career. You might have saw that Klaus Giersdorf, also known as Booga, won the very first Fortnite World Cup at just 16 years of age, and the prize money was a whopping $3 million. You might be thinking now, wow, that's the easiest $3 million that anyone has ever made. The man is just good at video games, and I could do the same, right? But today I'm here to tell you that there's more of it behind the esport industry. League of Legends is a multiplayer online battle arena game made by American company Riot in 2009. It has a massive esports scene, arguably the biggest apart from probably CSGO, which is a shooter game that was introduced long before League of Legends did. After the first year, the World Championship Series, which was held every year, were largely dominated by Korean teams. If you have ever played League of Legends, chances are there you might have heard of Lee Seong-hyuk, professionally known as Faker, the unkillable Demon King, who won 3 World Championships with SKT T1. And there were only 2 people who won 3 championships in the history. And it's him and his teammate Benji. He's considered the best League of Legends player of all time, and he is still playing this with the same team as of now. He has no doubt made esports a successful career for himself. But can the same story apply to everyone? Today I'm here to answer the question. Born in Seoul on May 7, 1996, Faker and his brother were raised in a single-parent family by their grandparents and their father. Faker was born in a good time. When in 2000 the popularity of gaming caught the attention of Korean government, which then founded the Korean Esport Association under the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, an agency which registers and posts office rankings for professional esport players. Esport is seen by the Korean government as a valuable cultural export, broadcast to the world alongside K-pop music and television dramas, as part of Korea's culture and national identity. However, as much as Korean government is promoting esports, their parents and the educationists were expressing growing concern over the social and health costs of playing video game for a living. Another very famous player, Uzi, was seen by his parents as a punk who would spend all day in an internet cafe without going to school, and his parents were trying to stop him from going pro. However, it's not the case for Faker, whose dad believes that he's born to be a pro gamer. As a child, he played Warcraft 3 and another MOBA called Chaos, and quickly moved on to League of Legends when he discovered it in late 2011. I would say that nowadays there are 2 routes of becoming pro player. You can either go for a tryout, or a team scout might contact you directly. That's one good thing about esports, is that the scout don't have to travel all around the world to watch you performance, like any other traditional sports. They can just sit at home and discover new talent. That's not to say that it's easy to find a way in. Due to the fact that multiplayer games update frequently and the popularity always shifts from one game to another, it can be very chaotic and random when it comes to becoming a pro player. Back then option 2 were the only one available to Faker. Current LCK has around 75 pro players in the league, and Korea server has well over 2.5 million frequent players. That means you have to be the top 0.00003 players in order to make the team. That is 4 zeros after decimal points. But Faker, being Faker, he became extremely good at the game, and soon after, many Korean pro team approaches him. However, Having just entered high school at the age of 16, dropping out and going pro is a tough decision to make. Now let's say that you manage to get on a team. Does your life become easier then? Well, the average salary of a Korean Pro League of Legends player is quite high at 175 million Korean won, which is roughly 150k US dollars. The bottom 50% are making below 100 million Korean won, which means that the top player are making much more than the average. That's not the full picture though, since most esports players, like other sports, makes money on the side as well. Most players in Korea can earn as much as their salary doing advertisement, earning prize money, and streaming. But that's nothing compared to other pro athletes. It looks like if you make it to the team, money wise, you're all set, right? Then we have to look at esports players' lifespan. On average, it would be about 3 years, with only the top 4% of players spending more than 5 years being in the league. This is a very low number compared to any other sports, which can easily exceed 10 years on average, with the top players staying competitive in their mid-30s. Faker himself has been in the league for 7 years now, and has since consistently been at the top. But recently he has lost his starting position to a 17 years old player named Closer. The average age of a Korean pro player is as low as 20.8 years old. That's due to the fact that meta is always shifting in game, and you have to constantly learn new things and adapt these changes through an extensive amount of training. Some of the players reported that they spend more than 8 hours a day on just playing the game. That is 7 days a week without breaks. Fakers has said that the longest average training section that he has done is over 15 hours. That's quite physically demanding. Also, because of the early retirement, many young players have to consider their retirement option pretty early. Usually there are 3 options. Continue involvement in the esports industry, whether to become a team manager, a coach, or a caster. Streaming can be the second option. If you gain enough attention through your professional career, you can turn that into viewer counts pretty easily. Faker has more than 1.3 million subscribers on YouTube and 3.3 million followers on Twitch.tv. Third option will probably be going back to school and learn another set of skills. Take me as an example. I played League of Legends for over 8 years now. I started in Season 2 and has since slowly getting better. Now I'm consistently a low diamond player. Put in perspective, I'm top 1% of the player in this region. So that's pretty good, right? But I'm nowhere near to even playing a college team. They typically ask for at least Diamond 1 to mastering a solo rank. Well, I'm also studying computer engineering in college. If I can be the top 30% of my class, I can probably nail a close to 6 figures job when I graduate. That's a big difference. You need to embrace the fact that going into esports as a career are unpredictable, requires a lot of talent, high stake, mediocre return. For the time being, I think college is a more practical option. I also just don't have the talent though. But at the end of the day, it is your decision. And if you're willing to take the risk, by all means take it. It's an uprising industry, there are a lot of opportunities out there. More countries raise their awareness just like Korea. But for now, I'll leave you with the most famous League of Legends clip of all time. Enjoy!
I'm like, even though I only have a mat on the floor, I think he's in the bed. Oh, Faker maybe in trouble here. Deathmark tries to clean it up for Ryu. Oh, look at the cleanse, look at the moves! Faker, what was that?
Faker with a huge play, the QSS.
I can't believe I just saw
he
that.
actually won that duel.
I can't believe that
SK
happened.
Telecom just charges into the KT Bullets base.
Oh, wow. Can you say GG? There's a Crow Storm, but it's a party. That's all for SKT right now.
So
Let's watch
Ryu
this
gets
again.
the drop onto Faker right there, gets him down to about a third health, and we see
that?
the death mark come down right there from Ryu, the immediate cleanse.
Oh.
Look at the shadow swap, so the QSS removes the death mark, and then at this point he gets
the
enough
flash.
damage with the flash afterwards to chunk
Oh,
him just
man.
enough. Ryu tries to come in, but
Oh,
there
he goes
we go.
back to the Living Shadow again.